Hi, I'm Amy Kelly for TooeleTV, and we are joined today with someone who's got quite the interesting story to tell. He is involved with paranormal investigations, and that is with the Untitled Paranormal Investigation Team. Ron, I just think it's fascinating. Tell me how you got involved and started in this.
Well, what got me started into it was I originally grew up in Southern California in a little town called Hermosa Beach. Mm-hmm. And ever since ever since I was 3 years old, I've been able to see spirits. I've had these strange occurrences. Mm-hmm. And then I started having these UFO experiences, and that's what got me interested into it.
Goodness. So as far as being with the team here in the Tooele region, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this off and on for about 20 years, but professionally for about the last 8 years.
Oh my gosh. So what do you guys do when you go out to research and investigate? Do you go mainly to people's homes, or are you going to old abandoned buildings? Where are you going to do some of these investigations?
We go everywhere. We go into private dwellings, businesses, even public buildings sometimes, if they'll let us.
So is this by request, or do you just search out where you've heard rumors of things happening?
Mostly by request, but if there's a interesting old building, then we try to research it out and try to gain permission to go in.
When you've been out on some of these investigations, have you had any hair-raising experiences that stick out in your mind?
Oh, yes. I've had quite a few. We did a house in Magna, Utah, and unfortunately there was a murder committed in the house, and there was a mother-in-law apartment in the back, and I was in the main house by myself in the basement, in the dark, doing EVPs. And I had this green glow appear right on my lap. Oh my God. And man, it just shocked the heck out of me. So I got on the radio and I called for Derek and everybody else to come running. So they came over, and when they got there, it disappeared as usual.
As usual. So you have a lot of these experiences that kind of generate the spine-tingling stuff we see in the movies, huh?
Correct.
I'm now joined with Kristina, on my right here, and Derek. They are married, VonHatten. I think that came after your ghost hunting expeditions, right?
Yep, yes it did.
You can fall in love while being freaked out at the same time. I guess it works.
Yeah, it does, for sure. It really does.
I'm curious. It gets me going. I mean, seriously, how did you guys, or I should say, you got kind of lucky to find a girl who's as interested in it as you are, because this is kind of creepy. I'm going to be the first to admit, I don't like haunted houses, pretend or real, and hopefully I'm not living in one, because sometimes I hear those things you guys were mentioning about the footsteps up the stairs. Mm-hmm. So tell me how you got started, Derek.
Me and a friend of mine, Marcus Lemon, one of our group members, was out in a ghost town and ended up hearing this woman start singing out there after he got his truck stuck. And she ended up going home. We took her home beforehand, and ever since then I wanted to prove to her what I heard, and she said I was lying and just trying to scare her, so she didn't believe in it at all for a long time. So ever since then, we just kind of started getting into it that way, and it branched out into our organization that we have now.
Oh my goodness. So when you say it branched out, how big is your organization? What do you do exactly to help people?
We have 8 members on and off. Our most prominent members is 4 of us. I look for the most dedicated people that I can find for our group. So when I say branched out, we also investigate UFO and Bigfoot also, and to help people try and call us to try and figure out what's going on in their homes, because like I said before, they think they're going crazy, and we come in to try and show them they're definitely not going crazy. A lot of their family members may think that they're going nuts too, so that gives them some validation to kind of stick it in their face, say, there's my proof, I was not going nuts. So
right.
People also call us because they're afraid of what's going on. So we try and give them the best advice we can to help them get the spirits to obey their commands, I guess.
Oh, wow. Well, tell me this. I'm curious. You say you go out and help different people, and they don't feel they're crazy anymore once they see that you have proof. What do you do? How do you prove it? Do you film the stuff for them?
Yes, we'll film it like with our video cameras, our voice recorders, and then we'll go over all the evidence and then just make sure that it's legitimate, that's not us, and it could be a spirit. And then we'll burn it onto a DVD, show them, explain it at their house, let them know they're not insane and that it's definitely a possibility it could be a spirit, and just kind of relieve their stress too and really help them. That's what we meant to do, is to help our clients, not so much like the ghosts, but more the living people.
Right. Well, you know, something I mentioned, or I heard mentioned in your speeches that you were giving earlier, is this is for free. You don't charge for this. That's right.
Yeah, we're all nonprofit. We do this all for totally free. Anybody that wants us to come investigate, we do not charge anything at all.
Tell me why you do it that way. I mean, even to help get new equipment, you wouldn't have anybody donate to you? There's nothing that can be done?
I guess if anybody offered us some massive donation, I wouldn't, I would be reluctant at first because I don't like accepting money for our services just because we started this on our own as a hobby. We started it to help people out. But people who offer us some gas money for a long distance investigation, we'll let them help, just because they do feel bad for calling us all the way down there. So,
So how far is the farthest that you've gone to?
We've been, a lot of times go down to Price and Sunnyside. We have been all the way down to Meadow, Utah before, which is just past Fillmore. But most of the time we try to avoid going too far away because of it ends up coming out into hotel costs and gas costs and all that good stuff.
Well,
So
I don't blame you. And obviously that would be an expense. So as far as the times that you've gone out, I see you've got something in your hand.
Yes.
I watched on your little video, and for those of us who haven't seen it, and actually maybe we could put a link on there to your video from this video to that, so they can actually see what you were seeing. But you were having a little girl communicate to you with this, and tell how that worked.
This is the K2. It will light up like you see here. And it'll just it shows electromagnetic fields, and it kind of goes off like wiring and household stuff. The microwave, you stick us right next to the microwave, it'll go crazy. So probably they say don't stand next to it. But ghosts can communicate through this pretty easy. It's the best one we've used. And yeah, at Mercer Cemetery, we had a little girl supposedly come up and talk through it. It'd go off and just kind of let us know that she's there. And it's pretty neat. It's one of our favorites to use, and that was at Mercer Cemetery, and that's one of our favorite pieces.
I was going to say, from you coming from a non-believer to a believer now, like he was saying, you didn't believe. What was that like for you when you finally realized that, Derek wasn't crazy?
It's like, dang it. No, it was it changes. It's really different to know there's more out there than what you can just see. It's something just completely different. It opens up your mind to lots of different things. You're not so skeptical and closed-minded. It's pretty fun, and that's what got me hooked once I had my experience. And hearing things throughout just doing this, it's pretty cool. It's something, yeah.
Obviously, and it is. And I think with you having that in your hand and seeing actual physical proof when you asked a question and it lit up, I'm like, whoa.
That was cool, yeah. That's what got us going, and just being able to help other people and kind of maybe perhaps speak to the ghosts, whatever you want to call it, entities. It's different. Once you have your own experience, it will change kind of like your life and get you into it more, I'd say. So
there's no going back at that point. So Derek, where do you see yourself going with some more investigations in the future? Where's some place that you're heading to next?
we definitely have a couple places down in Price we're trying to get into. Like Ron said earlier, the Elks Lodge down there. We need to get down there and do that soon. And then there's another home he has working for us. Ron does do a lot of really good work for us. If we had never met him in college, we had never gotten where we are today. He has helped us more than anybody else ever could have. He knows everybody down there. So it's just like,
He's your good contact.
yeah, we'd ask him, he's like, oh, that building looks cool. Oh, I know who owns that. I know a guy that works there. So, we got into most of the places down there because of him, and he opened up Carbon County to us, basically.
So it's a hotbed for activity, evidently.
It really is, because in the old days, like I said earlier, it was the black sheep of Utah down in Helper. But I do have to say this: we do not get rid of spirits. That is one thing we don't do. Yeah, I can give you the best advice possible, and I have had it work. I know for a fact. I can promise you that it has worked. My advice to get rid of a spirit on your own, because you are the most powerful thing in your home to get rid of the spirit. The spirit is connected to you. You have the power to get rid of the spirit yourself. So.
And on that note, why are you saying that they're attracted to you? What makes a spirit attracted to somebody?
You've noticed it. If you're in the home and the spirit's trying to get your attention and you have noticed the spirit's going to know you've seen them, And most spirits, 90% of the time, we've never had one be aggressive to a person. We've only had maybe a couple people afraid that it's going to be aggressive toward them or their children. So we've never really had that happen. But if the spirit's in your home trying to get your attention and you've noticed it and you haven't told it, or it's only scared you, it's going to keep trying to tell you, I'm not trying to scare you. So if you just tell that spirit, hey, I know you're here. I know that you're in my home. Just please don't try and scare me. You can say hi. You can, every once in a while you can move something around, but don't do this as much as you're doing because I don't want you scaring me. It's scaring me. Please
I
stop.
had to sleep with a nightlight on for the rest of my life. This is not a good thing. Okay. Well, anyway, you guys, it's been wonderful meeting you both. I wish you luck and your crew, and obviously many more successful ghost hunting experiences. And thanks for watching TooeleTV. I'm Amy Kelly.